level. You hit the top tier, dude. It's very wild to mention that specifically your fans' communities are the only ones harassing her. Like, this was a public thing on Twitter. It can be for anyone from either of the communities, and even more likely to be. But, like, I didn't even instigate it. You know what I mean? And anyway, my point is this. I can't stop myself. Like, the same people that fucking get mad at me and say, like, oh, I can't believe you, like, shit on Candace Owens. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, she's a black woman. You should listen to her. All this shit. It's just, no, I'm not going to do that. The reaction to this from her side as a trauma response is overreaching and comes from a place of hurt where you were simply clapping back to defend yourself. Logically thinking through the situation would lead most people to the conclusion that it is a heinous reach and insanely overblown. No, that's not going to happen. But did you do it with like the intention of knowing what black women's hair means to them? I don't personally think so. I think telling to kill yourself was worse. No, I wasn't thinking about that in that moment. Why the fuck even think about it practically? Pragmatically speaking, no. I wouldn't have fucking said that if I thought that it would come across like a much larger issue. Clearly, I was fucking emotional. You know what I mean? I was emotional and thought that I was making fun of one individual. And then I realized like, oh, fuck, here we go.
Those cultural markers.
All right, now we got SeanDaBlack videos playing on the fucking stream. Okay, when he's already in the chat,
Can be used as a protest against the politics of desirability, allowing black women to freely express themselves in a way that may not be deemed as professional or presentable. Beyond that, there are countless stories of young black kids having to cut their hair while existing in predominantly white spaces.
Yeah, this stuff is bullshit. I've talked about this a lot. I've covered this a lot. You guys already know this. You know what my opinion is on this matter.
Tonight, for the first time, we're hearing from the superintendent who's taking heat for a dress code policy over a boy's long hair.
He's defending the policy that requires a student cut his locks in order to walk at graduation.
And the teenager at the center of the controversy also talking tonight, telling our Matt Doherty his civil rights are being violated.
We have a morning exclusive. A high school softball player says she felt humiliated when she was forced to cut her braids in the middle of a game because her hair supposedly obscured the number on her jersey.
Whether it's because of dress code policies or school sports policies, they all enforce a sort of set of standards over these students.
Better timestamp.
This is mirrored in the topic of black hair in the workplace. Texturism and hair discrimination is way too common to be coincidental, and it's something that is under-addressed by greater society. For example, in 2010, Chastity Jones accepted a job offer from Catastrophe Management Solutions. Ironic. However, one of the stipulations.
Dude, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. So you think it's okay to use tools of white supremacy because you were emotional? How can any black person trust you? Then don't fucking trust me, dude. I don't care. Like, shut up. Jesus Christ. Look, you're not making... This is like, we're trying to have a productive conversation. Turn someone farming fucking hatred and my reaction to that into a productive conversation. You're bringing that shit up in here specifically because you're a narcissist, not because you're woke. It has nothing to do with your fucking perspective either. Like, you're just doing that right now and you're being unproductive. Okay? Not only do I recognize the wrong here, okay? Not only do I recognize the wrong, ultimately, like, it's just like, people are just obsessed with catching us on anything. Why do you think the brothel and shit are brought up? Honestly, it's embarrassing. Compare this shit to real shit, like showing, not saying you're doing this, but this is what others are doing on the timeline. Yeah, it's just like, it is, first and foremost, obviously, as a white guy with a lot of privilege, okay? But who has a you know, decent understanding of white supremacy, who talks about it regularly, okay? That interaction in a vacuum, in my opinion, if it's like a one-to-one interaction, is petty. It's fucked up. I agree. But it's absolutely fucking valid. That interaction being two public figures talking to one another all of a sudden, one actually being someone who knows better, and the other person petty but coming from a marginalized background, is the reason why I'm having a larger conversation about it. Because I don't want you to do it either. Okay? Like, I don't want you to do it. The irony is that, like, that person is saying, why should people stop trusting you? You should maybe shut the fuck up and listen to what I'm saying, because I'm using this even as an opportunity to take it away from, like, dumbass Twitter discourse, which is not going to go anywhere. I know a lot of people are in here thinking, oh, he did it now, he's going to get canceled. Like, no, it's not. It's not going to happen. That's not how this works, okay? We live in a white supremacist country. I'm a white dude. Ultimately, there's a reason why so many motherfuckers literally push right every time to make more money. If I was actually a fucking white supremacist, I would make more money. It doesn't work that way, okay? So stop. The idea that, like, this is what is going to fucking, this is it, is stupid. It's silly. No, I'm a fucking dumbass Twitch streamer. And as far as Twitch streamers goes, like, probably high up there on the fucking wokeness scale, okay? I'm trying to utilize this as an opportunity to tell you, yeah, I did something wrong, okay? I did something wrong. She told me to kill myself. She was flexing about it, okay? And I thought that in an isolated circumstance, it would have been valid. It was petty. I wanted her to feel bad. But of course, there are systemic consequences to things like that, which is why I'm trying to turn around and explain it to an overwhelmingly white chat, why the reason, why there are black chatters in here that are, upset and offended. I did AoE damage accidentally. Yeah, if you want to use gaming terminology. Okay? People are gaslighting you into admitting you're a right-wing wacko, lol. Yeah, I don't... No. No one... I don't even think the dumbasses in here that are coming in here to be like, dude, you're fucking racist, legitimately think I'm a right-wing wacko. And if they do, then they're fucking insane. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Okay? Ugh. Nah, fuck her. She came for you. It's fine. No, I mean, there are things that I would not have ever said in a million years. Like, you can't say some fucking unhinged white supremacist shit. You know what I mean? Like, just because someone came after you, you can't fucking pop off. Like, it has to be of the same level, okay? No matter what happens. And there are certain bars you do not cross, okay? That's crazy. Like, you can't be transphobic to a trans person because they're telling you to kill yourself. Like, that's crazy. Why the fuck would you do that, right? It's the law of equivalent exchange. Like, even if she, for example, said, like, I'm a, dirty camel-humping Turk or whatever the fuck, right? Because some of her fan base was saying that in the quote tweets, things like that. I mean, what was it? Someone was like, here, I love when people say that. I love screenshotting like new and unique and clever ways to be like Islamophobic or anti-Turkish. Turkic camel fucking beast. That's what someone said. Anyway, but like, I'm not going to turn around and be racist. You know what I mean? Just because someone said that to me, I'm not going to. That's what I was talking about, by the way, with respect to like K-pop stans and shit, or like stans in general. Like, that's like an insane thing to say. Like, you're supposed to be on the side of social justice in this argument. You know what I mean? How the fuck did you go and come up with that? But my point is this. Okay? My point is this. I thought it was law of equivalent exchange. It doesn't go above. I thought that this was a conversation that we could have. This is your Elon Twitter meltdown moment. Please move on from someone's dumb comment that hurt your feelings. Wait, what? I hate that this is what is coming across to you as. I could have just like not done that at all, but I'm trying to have a conversation about, why this is a larger issue. I'm explaining to you why my joke crossed the line. You know what I mean? And you're upset because, like, what? We're having a conversation about Like why black hair, specifically black women's hair, is political? Like what the fuck?
Relations with that job was apparently that Chastity had to cut off her locks. The reason the hiring manager provided was that they tend to get messy. And when Chastity rightfully refused this outrageous request, the company rescinded their offer. The EEOC filed a suit on her behalf in 2013 and lost. This was appealed, but the case was dismissed by the appeals court. And this is one of many instances of things like this happening in the workplace. Hair is of great importance in the black community and is integral to the identity of many black people. However, it's more than that. The freedom of black hair is quite literally a protest against racial subjugation.
Ever seen one of these before? They're more than just headscarves. They're powerful symbols in the fight against racial oppression. By 1763, when Spain successfully invaded the Louisiana colony, there was a large population of free black people living and thriving in Louisiana. The new Spanish colonial government sought to restrict free black people's lives and to impose a strict racial hierarchy. The Spanish proclaimed that all free black women must wear headscarves, known as tignons. Tignons were traditionally worn by enslaved women while they worked.
I mean, you basically told her to fuck off and go eat a bucket of fried chicken? No, I didn't. No. What the no, you just said that. No. No. That's a whole ass different sentence in a different zip code of racism. What the fuck are you talking about? Why did you just make that shit up? What? Bro, what? Dude, I can't do this. Guys. Stay on track. Stay on track. What the fuck? I don't understand. You just like invented something. You just invented something like that is like objectively, very openly one of the more racist things you can say, like on the tier list of like things that you should never say in general, certainly not to a black person. It's literally like you hit the top level. You hit the top tier, dude. It's very wild to mention that specifically your fans' communities are the only ones harassing her. Like, this was a public thing on Twitter. It can be for anyone from either of the communities and even more likely to be people outside. Yeah. Stop. This is ridiculous. You're being ridiculous. You're being fucking insane. Why are you in here? Why are you a follower of mine if you literally think this? That's insane. I would not follow someone who would do that. Okay? Like, I don't understand. What the fuck? I can't tell if you guys are like fucking trolling or if you're being serious. Like, what the fuck's happening? Anyway. It's got to be a joke. Let's get back to the video.
Free black women to wear these head wraps. The Spanish sought to mark the comply, but they did so creatively. In silent rebellion, the women tied their tignons in ornate, eye-catching ways. Those who could afford to created tignons using expensive fabrics. Others adorned theirs with feathers and jewels. Meant to stifle their voices, instead, tignons became a form of expression and individuality for Louisiana's free black population, who reappropriated these symbols of inferiority and oppression and wore their tignons proudly. In 1801, Spanish colonial rule ended in Louisiana, but tignons lived on.
This clip not only shows that freedom of natural hair is a civil rights issue, but it can also be attributed to the bondage/do-rag discussion. Those cultural markers can be used as a protest against the politics of desirability, allowing black women to freely express themselves in a way that may not be deemed as professional or presentable. Beyond that, there are countless stories of young black kids having to cut their hair while existing in predominantly white spaces.
Yeah, so we saw the rest of this. Yeah, black hair is political. It's always been political. It's a important cultural marker. It's an important part of their identity. It's understandable. That's why you mentioned black hair in any capacity. You mentioned a black person's hair, even if you're individually talking to them. Other people, whether they're being uncharitable on purpose or whether they misunderstood or whether they saw just that, are going to turn around and go, that guy's being racist. That's why some people are upset at me because they fucking hate me. Some people are upset at me because they think I'm a white supremacist racist because they're barbs. And some people are legitimately in the crosshairs catching strays, not recognizing what the fuck's going on. Okay? Anyway, that's it. In a normal circumstance, in a vacuum, in a conversation between two people, it's not something that would be seen as anything beyond like two people being petty to one another. But we don't know each other like that. Okay? We don't know each other like that. And also, she doesn't know me like that. But obviously, like, no matter what happens, obviously, I'm not going to get fucking charitability. Let's be real, guys. You know that. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. That's what it is. Okay? That's what it is. I think this is just a bad look, and you got baited into focusing on it being larger than it was. I know. But also, at the same time, it's just like, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Yeah. It's a nuclear bomb. It's because it's higher on the microaggression scale than like AAVE. I did it because she told me to kill myself after like literally launching fucking femcell warfare on me for no fucking reason off of like some idiotic, innocuous 2 years ago, probably the least offensive thing that anyone's ever said about fucking Amber Heard during the trial shit. But it is what it is. Yeah, I'm not saying it was right. I don't think it was the right thing to say. I was being petty. I was angry. I was annoyed. Bro, you're 31. She's 18. You got to move on. No, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. Oh, man, someone's 18. Oh, it's fine. You yourself have made the I want an unalive tweet pass joke. Chatters are saying her tweets were dead serious, and that's just not the case. Chat's got to stop saying, will she attack you so we can say anything to her? No, you can't say everything you want to her. That's not how that works. There are lines that you don't cross. I don't think this was, like, my intention wasn't to cross a line, okay? But if you want to have a nuanced conversation about, like, the racial politics of hair, obviously we can have that here. We have conversations like this all the fucking time. Sean, community member SeanDaBlack's video covers this extensively, but also on top of that, I have covered these exact same stories as well. You can go back and find my videos on these things, okay? But that's it. She has tweets from you from a while ago. She's a professional hair watcher. No, she DM'd me. I followed her. She followed me back. Hold on. I think it's gonna. Yeah, she got upset with me saying she was a swerve. Hold on. Hold on. All right, I'll just keep playing this video while I...
Tonight, for the first time, we're hearing from the superintendent who's taking heat for a dress code policy over a boy's long hair.
Any cultural markers that may enforce
Humiliated when she was forced to cut her braids in the middle of a game because her hair supposedly obscured the number on her jersey.
Whether it's because of dress code policies or school sports policies, they all enforce a sort of set of standards over these students. And those standards often require the removal of any cultural markers that may intimidate or otherwise make the white populace uncomfortable. This encompasses the policing of language as well.
You assume they know how to speak to people correctly. See, there's an English, there's hood English, and then there's ghetto English. What up, yo? What's up, my son? What's up, fam? Well, some people don't want to be addressed like that, as opposed to saying, how are you doing today, sir? Can I help you? What's good? Nothing. Nothing at all is good. Because that's not how you address a person.
The characterization of Ebonics turned African-American vernacular English as broken, unrefined, or unprofessional speech, as opposed to a dialect akin to that of Southern American English, is telling. The way we culturally speak is wrong or ghetto or unintelligent, which in turn classifies our culture as such. However, this is the goal, because professionalism is predicated on your proximity to whiteness. It doesn't only encourage, but necessitates the removal of the Black identity. And respectability supplements professionalism because what is deemed as professional must also be respectable. And even those who claim to care about our plight, allies who say they stand with us, will engage in this behavior as well. Enter the Democratic Party. Ready. So I know what you may be thinking. What does the Democratic Party have to do with respectability politics? Why single them out? The Republicans are just as bad, even worse. Why don't you talk about them? The difference is the Republicans don't claim to care about the plight of Black people. They are evil monsters for sure, but they have no qualms telling us that no matter how respectable we act, we ain't getting civil liberties. The Democrats, however, thrive off respectability politics. Respectability politics is a necessary part of the Democratic Party's strategy because it is instrumental in their operation as controlled opposition. It operates as a way for them to direct any criticisms of them or protests of the system as disrespectful or uncivil, and thus not worth engaging with. And a perfect example of this happening in contemporary society is with the Black Lives Matter protests. While the Black Lives Matter movement was not started in 2020, that year operated as a catalyst for a new wave of protests. The high-profile murders of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery provoked the citizenry into action to protest racial violence. There was also unprecedented support from liberal circles as these instances were so cut and dry murder, with the added benefit of being filmed. However, before then, during the Obama presidency, we did not see this kind of support from the Democratic Party or liberal circles. In 2015, with the murder of Freddie Gray, who, in case you don't remember, because there were so many of them, he was a 25-year-old Black man who was murdered in police custody, dying from his injuries to his cervical spinal cord from alleged unnecessary force. Side note, everybody got away scot-free for that one. Everybody got away scot-free. We're all good. No issues there. Followed by a series of protests and justifiable anger over the lack of care for a Black man's life. And when the Black president of the United States came out to make a statement, he spent 20 seconds thoughts and praying Freddie Gray before immediately heel turning to talk about respectability.
First, obviously our thoughts continue to be with the family of Freddie Gray. Understandably, they want answers. And DOJ has opened an investigation. It is working with local law enforcement to find out exactly what happened, and I think there should be full transparency and accountability. Second, my thoughts are with the police officers who were injured in last night's disturbances. It underscores that that's a tough job, and we have to keep that in mind. And my hope is that they can heal and get back to work as soon as possible. Point number 3, there's no excuse for the kind of violence that we saw yesterday. It is counterproductive. when individuals get crowbars and start prying open.
Dude, this is, oh, God. Holy fuck. Oh my Lord. Obama was so bad, dude. Holy shit. I mean, he literally said, was it a tweet? Didn't he fucking straight up, this might be the actual speech actually. Like, the same guy who said Trayvon Martin could have been my son also literally said the BLM protesters were like behaving like violent thugs, basically.
Open doors to loot.
Oh, God.
They're not protesting. They're not making a statement. They're stealing. When they burn down a building, they're committing arson.
Yeah, he didn't basically say it. He did say it. Here's, the Baltimore rioters. Obama calls Baltimore rioters criminals and thugs. The irony here is that this is such a Democratic Party position. Why? Because, first of all, you're black. So the people that also think the Baltimore rioters are criminals and thugs and not people fucking pushing back against police brutality, the people that also think that literally think you're that because you're black. Okay? It's fucking nuts. It's nuts that the Democratic Party does this all the time. I'll give you a different example that doesn't have a racial component to it. Okay? When the Democratic Party goes out and fucking signs off on, the fuck socialism bill or whatever, like they did the other day, right? A couple months back. What they don't realize is they're just literally saying socialism is bad. You guys are right. But the Republicans are not going to stop calling Nancy Pelosi socialist. All you have done is basically said, yeah, they're right, actually. Socialism is bad. Meanwhile, they still think you're a socialist and a bad person. It makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense. Anyway. I didn't even blast off today. I didn't do my blast off tweet, but I will. In a little bit. Okay. The new Blammo, the Scared HasanAbi song. Okay, we'll do that in a second. Britain is the best. All Americans are wrong. That is the